Good evening, everybody. This is Chief Meteorologist Andrew Pinero with a quick weather update for some wintry weather coming on in. And enjoying that wintry weather with a little hot chocolate. So, let us discuss what's going on out there. We're going to look at what's going on right now, and then we're going to look at what to expect through the night into tomorrow. There's not going to be a full week weather update. It's just for the wintry weather going into tomorrow morning specifically. So your morning commute can be a bit tricky in places. There is another wintry chance going into next Monday, but check back on the channel and we will talk more about the other rain and wintry chances coming up in the forecast for the Northeast later on in the week. All right, so let's switch on over to the weather maps and let's begin the discussion. All right, so taking a quick peek here at these weather maps, we're going to start here in the New York City area. A lot of winter weather advisories. Let's take a quick peek at what those look like from 10 p.m. to 11 a.m. tomorrow. Mixed precipitation expected, ice accumulation around a light glaze to several hundredths of an inch. Total snow accumulation of less than 1 inch, but up to 2 inches in western Orange County. That would be Orange County, New York here. So these are the higher elevation areas, Sussex County and Orange County going into there. That's where you can see a little bit more of a snow than ice. So very interesting right there. But overall, a little bit slick. It's nothing terrible. Nothing severe or anything like that where we're going to see winter storm warnings. That is if we take a look a little bit down and over. So through, it looks like West Virginia there, going all the way up through Pennsylvania. That is where there's a winter storm, a warning there. So that winter storm warning, let's take a peek at what it's saying. Ice accumulations around 1/4 of an inch of ice. Snow and sleet accumulations of less than an inch. So the snow's not the problem there. It's the ice accumulations of 1/4 inch. Now, imagine that, 1/4 inch of ice on a power line. That's enough to bring a power line down. That's probably why they issued the winter storm warning there. Going up a little bit more. The winter weather advisories do go north into upstate New York. This is kind of where we're seeing the spine of the system that we'll see on the forecast model maps. Going over a little bit, the winter weather advisories go through most of Connecticut. But once you get a little bit more east, there's really nothing, because by the time it's there, it's mostly going to either peter out or just be regular rain. That's really what we're going to be seeing there. Now, let's take a peek at some of the radars. So right now, this is a pretty big system. This system looks like we're going from South Carolina through Massachusetts, or actually a little bit into Vermont, let's say. So South Carolina to Vermont. So it's a pretty long system, but it's not a fast-moving system, so there's not really high winds with this system. We're just seeing the mixing of precipitation right on that freezing line, which is where we can see the freezing rain and some light ice accretion. Now, on the bigger, or the better radar, I would say, not the bigger radar, on radar scope here, we are seeing this mix happening where southern Jersey and south, it's rain. Pennsylvania, there's some heavy snow in spots with some mixing happening. Going into central New Jersey, there's really nothing happening there at the moment. Start moving north, you get the mixing and then the snow. Then the snow continues a little bit into the Hudson Valley there. Well, that looks like a new icon. What is this? Delay dismissal. Oh, interesting. Radar scope puts in schools. School or business delay or early dismissal. So this was issued 7:34 p.m. So I'm assuming this is a 2-hour delay for tomorrow. Anyway, There's nothing much happening there. And then when we go a little bit more north, let's pull up the Albany radar. We're seeing the same kind of shape between the two radars, so good consistency there. But there is some snow happening there. You head more west, that's where there's the ice. And then we head down a little bit into, let's go right here. So there we have a lot of different colors. Rain, mix, snow. Going down into Virginia. Mostly rain there. Mostly rain in West Virginia. Pretty much nothing there, so the system's mostly here. So when I go back to the Mount Holly, this is where it's going to be switching back and forth, and that's going to be causing the issues. So let's jump right now to the beginning of the forecast models on the good old tropical tidbits. So here, let's take a peek. So this is going through, this is 7 p.m., so that's right about where we are right now, which is light precipitation, except this is in the wrong mode. That's what we want. So this isn't showing much of anything starting out with. So the GFS is too warm. So that's what we're seeing on the initialization there. The timing is decent, but it's a bit too warm, where it's not showing any kind of frozen precipitation, even if it's an average, or it's just not high resolution enough. But it does show a little bit of the breeziness happening at the back of the storm. Starting out, it's not there yet until the storm starts making its way through and that front makes its way through. So timing-wise, it looks like this is going to start. The advisory is going to affect at 10 p.m. And I would say that's about right, because by 1 a.m., it's already started. And then it looks like everything ends between 7 a.m. and here, 1 p.m. So for 11 a.m., where it's saying it's going to be stopping, that looks like it's pretty true. And that's probably why some of the school districts have issued a 2-hour delay, or at least that one. Switching over to the euro here. So this seems to have a handle on the temperature a little bit better. So 0Z Monday, which is right now 7 p.m. This is showing a little bit more accurate for what we're seeing here. So right there is a mix happening to just snow. So that's showing pretty much just snow. No mixing happening, but it's also, again, one of the lower resolution forecast models, the Euro. So I believe the Euro a little bit more than the GFS at the moment. Going to, oh, we're not going to look there just yet. Going to the icon. Let's take a peek at what it says here. So this, I don't think shows, yeah, it's just rain or snow. This one doesn't show any mixing. But going into 0Z, it's correct with the temperature, it looks like, but timing-wise, it's behind. So it seems like there's no exact model consistency so far. This is showing it's starting in the New York City area by between 3 and 6Z. Upstate, it's starting a little bit earlier, but this is the picture we are seeing on the on the Euro here. So 0Z is that picture, and 6Z is that picture. Now, if you notice, they look fairly aligned. The Euro is a little bit more scattered, but also they're 6 hours apart. 12-kilometer NAM here. Let's see what this says. So this is a little bit different again, because this is near surface reflectivity. This is simulated radar. This is not an average precipitation rate. So 7 p.m. 0Z Eastern Standard Time. It is a little bit behind. So we're kind of seeing that picture. That's saying 3Z. On the radar here, it's now. So this is a little slow. So let's keep that in mind as we go forward with this. So going through, the temperature looks like it's warming up through the night as we have some southwesterly flow. We have the high pressure here, so we got we got clockwise rotation. That's why coming up around here, we're bringing southerly flow. So all that warmer, this time of the year, the ocean's warmer. So we have warmer air coming off the ocean there. Then we also have, following these isobars, southwesterly flow. So all of that's kind of coming in together. And that's warming up the air as the heart of the rain, it looks like. This is showing some decently heavy rain in spots there by 6, 7 a.m. tomorrow. So that's where I was saying, for the commute, you have to be very careful. You would definitely want to give yourself extra time tomorrow morning because of that. Then this continues. So this is all rain pretty much at this point, unless you're getting into very upstate New York, into Vermont, going up through Maine, not really, but New Hampshire. That makes its way out through Monday, and then this is coming in already with the next system, but we're not going to talk about that one here. We're really just talking about the wintry mix happening here, because this one's just a little bit trickier to deal with. Now let's switch on over to the 3-kilometer dam. Now on here, let's see. So here is 0Z. Again, it's behind, again, compared to the radar that's happening right now. And this, it looks like we really have this starting 3Z. So the 12 and the 3-kilometer NAM look like timing-wise, they're about the same. Maybe it's a little bit warmer, the 3-kilometer NAM. And then this has everything ending. Oh, this is actually... This does not have it stopping, but it's interesting. It kind of, not freezes, bad word, but suspends itself right there. Suspended animation. It doesn't move anywhere till this next system comes in for Tuesday, which is all rain. So that's an interesting feature on the 3-kilometer NAM. Let's see what the HRRR says. So let's go to 0Z right there. Decent. It's fairly close. It is actually 7:50 at this recording right now. So going back 50 minutes, it was probably right about here, which is pretty much in line. So the HRRR seems to have a pretty good handle on it. So this is staying colder for a little bit longer. And then it turned into some pretty heavy rain there. That is in the overnight hours. Going through 6 a.m. through Long Island there, and that's trying to head its way up to Massachusetts, but then it peters out by then. That's why there really wasn't anything in Massachusetts in terms of winter weather advisories or anything like that. And then the last thing I want to bring up were a couple of these. So here on the GFS, this is for total positive snow depth. Again, not much we're seeing for snow specifically. Maybe a trace to 2 inches throughout most of the area there. Once you get a bit more west, so Pennsylvania might see a little bit more. That's up to 3 inches. But for the New York City area, and then going north of that and going east of that, you're really not seeing anything. North of it, again, more ice you'll see. Very little bit, but it's enough that could cause some treacherous commutes in the morning. And the last one here, we're going to go to good old Pivotal Weather Site. And this is not really showing too much of a difference, where we're seeing, again, between a trace to 1.5 inches throughout most of the New York, New Jersey, the tri-state region. Going west into Pennsylvania, that's where this is actually saying there's an 8 that popped up right in here somewhere there. So 8 inches. So Pennsylvania is the one that's going to be a little bit more snowy this time. But for most of us here, especially going into Massachusetts, you're really not seeing anything. It looks like it's really just going to be rain or just clouds and wind. But for the tri-state region here, this is really just going to be a tricky storm because it's mix and some rain and some snow, but not a lot of each of those. All right, so that is a quick peek at this storm coming through tonight into tomorrow. All right, so to wrap up real quick, nothing too much we're gonna see from this. It's just, again, causing some inconveniences. It looks like already there's some school districts that are having delays. It looks like a 2-hour delay already with some places in Orange County, New York there. But definitely give yourself extra time tomorrow because you want to slow it down as you're making your way in the morning. Now, by the time this winter weather advisor and all that stuff looks like it expires around 11 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow, so for your evening commute, it's really just going to be wintry cold. The precipitation's gone. It still looks like it's going to be a little bit cloudy. It's also just going to be, again, more windy and the temperature's dropping again. So it's still going to be cold. So the real tricky part, I would say, is between about 1 a.m. and let's say 9 a.m. That's where you're going to see the trickiest part of it. So the morning commute time, if you're starting to commute 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., something like that, that's where you want to give yourself the extra time. And definitely bundle up. The winds aren't really going to be there until after the system. But with the cold temperatures, frostbite is always a thing if you're outside for any kind of extended period of time. All right, so that is a wrap for this video. Now, I do also want to mention, as I always do, this is a good time to have your NOAA weather radios ready. So if you head over onto bettersaferadio.com, I do have an affiliation with them. So if you use the link in my description, you'll get they're actually, I think, still running the sales right now. So I'll double check that when I post this. But no extra for you. It just gives me a little kickback. So that helps me continue to make videos like this for you. All right, so that is a wrap for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you got informed. If you're brand new to the channel, feel free to hit that little subscribe button below and then the bell icon right next to that so you get notified whenever I upload videos like this or I do go live, which it looks like I will be going live again regularly, either every Tuesday or every other Tuesday. All right, so this is Chief Meteorologist Andrew Pinero. Have a great rest of your night out there. Stay safe overnight tonight, especially going through your morning tomorrow. And I will see you all in the next video.